So we're gonna check out this video. This is Morgan Freeman on The View.
There have been, if I remember correctly, 6 extinction level events on the planet since life began. I mean, 6 times. Large portions of life. Not human life we're talking. We're talking just life. Gone, destroyed. But we're headed for another one. Scientists have said if we don't hurry up and change our ways, there's going to be a cataclysmic event that will wipe many of us off the face of the earth. It is because life is tenacious. Life. We're not talking about human beings here. We're talking about the planet.
Yeah.
She'll stay.
Yeah.
Well, it's tenacious if we would just leave it alone. Leave it alone. And the human interruption of all of that is what's causing all the problems. I hope that it's not too late.
I must admit, I was actually enjoying the show until Joy opened her mouth. The hens of the coop don't want to talk about life or the planet. I'm really surprised they were quiet for as long as they were. Unfortunately, their silence didn't last long because Sunny takes it from here.
I want to ask you about a different document.
Go ahead.
Let me guess. They're gonna go into some type of climate change instead of natural progression. But let's see what they go into.
As some politicians around the country try to erase Black history, you're making sure people don't forget vital parts of our past, including this documentary that you executive produced called 761st. Did I get that right? Yeah, 761st Tank Battalion, the original Black Panthers, about the first Black battalion to fight in World War II.
First Black Armored Battalion.
Yes.
And start in the 40s and move up. And how many times did I see Black people in the movies? And if I did see them, what were they doing?
There were servants. They were always. I know it's appalling.
I can give you the name.
If you watch old movies, Betty Davis movies are particularly, even though she's great, and
it's the period.
It's not her fault. It's the period. It's upsetting to watch. Tell you the truth.
It shouldn't be that way because somebody did make money.
Yeah.
And there it was. That's the time.
He made an appearance on the show to talk about his documentary, but they just couldn't help themselves and used it as an opportunity to make it about race. They thought they were going to be able to bait him in, but Morgan Freeman isn't interested in talking about race or entertaining race baiters. The ladies of the spew should have done their research before inviting him on the show.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
They just can't help themselves. They got one brain cell. Well, they got 2. One brain cell lean towards race. The other brain cell lean towards negative things about Donald Trump. They got 2 brain cells, and that's what they always lean to. And they have no self-control. They have to talk about one of these 2 things on every other show. And I don't know how anybody can sit up and watch this same nonsense that they do.
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
I'd love to know what you guys thought of this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Your support really helps the channel grow, and I truly appreciate it. Thanks for watching.
In my opinion, what Morgan Freeman said about there, how do we get a racism? Morgan Freeman said, stop talking about it. He said, I'm gonna stop calling you a white man, and you stop calling me a black man. Out of all the answers and the things that we have seen, that would be, I don't know if that'll end it all, because you're gonna have some clowns that's gonna try to keep it going. But up to everything that I've heard so far, that sounds like the best answer to me. Now, there may be something else out there. It's going to take a change of heart, this, that, and the other. But does a change of heart matter? Because when slavery ended, it was not about a change of heart. It was pretty much about legislation and economics and all those type of things. So that's a precedence. That's an example that we have to look at. But it kind of makes sense. If you stop letting, because you got all these race baiters out here, no matter what the topic is, what the issue is, they always go towards race when it's not even remotely about race. And it just leads to them pointing at people and making those people, mostly black folks, feel like they're victims, which is a terrible way to live. That is not a terrible way to live. You are not a victim in the United States of America, in this country today. Now, we can always go back to years ago, however many years ago you want. You could point to any race, ethnicity. There was some atrocities committed against most people in this country at some point or another. You can always go back to that, but what is the one that they almost always go back to? It's always something in the past that happened with black folks, whether you go back to the 60s. See how far they gotta go back? See how far they gotta go back to legitimize their victim mentality? And then you can go further back than that with Jim Crow. And then you gotta go further back than that with slavery and all these type of things. All right. What happened as far as black folks being a victim 10 years ago? Tell me about it. Yeah, that's what I thought.